Lil Hannibal. Once upon a time, way down south, there lived a little boy named Hannibal. Lil Hannibal. He lived along with his grandmammy and his granddaddy in a little one-story long cabin that was set right down in a cotton field. Well, from morning till night, Lil Hannibal grandmammy kept on totting things. As soon as he woke up in the morning, it was, "Oh, Lil Hannibal, fetch a pine knot and light the kitchen fire. Oh, Lil Hannibal, fetch the tea kettle to the well and get some more for the tea. Oh, Lil Hannibal, mix a little hoe cake for your granddaddy's breakfast. Oh, Lil Hannibal, take the bunch of turkeys, feathers, and dust the hearth." And from morning till night, Lil Hannibal's granddaddy kept him totting things too. "Oh, Lil Hannibal," his granddaddy would say, "fetch the corn and feed the turkeys. Oh, Lil Hannibal, take your little axe and chop some light wood for your grandmammy's fire." "Oh, Lil Hannibal, run around to the store and buy a bag of flour. Oh, Lil Hannibal, fetch your basket and pick a little cotton off the edge of the field." So they kept poor Lil Hannibal totting most all day long, and he had only 4 or 5 hours to play. Well, one morning, Lil Hannibal woke up and he made up his mind to do something before they could ask him to light the kitchen fire, or fill the tea kettle, or mix the hoe cake, or dust the hearth, or feed the turkeys, or chop any wood, or go to the store, or pick up any cotton. He had made up his mind that he was not going to tote for his grandmammy and his granddaddy any longer. He was going to run away. So Lil Hannibal got out of bed very quietly. He put on his little trousers and his little shirt with his little suspenders and his little shoes. He never wore stockings. He pulled his little straw hat down tight over his ears, and then Lil Hannibal ran away. He went down the road past all the cabins. He went under the fence and across the cotton fields. He went through the pine grove, past the schoolhouse, stooping down low so the schoolmistress wouldn't see him, and he went way off the country. When he was a long way from town, Lil Hannibal met a possum loping around the edge of the road. And the possum stopped and looked at Lil Hannibal. "How do? Where are you going, Lil Hannibal?" asked the possum. Lil Hannibal sat down by the side of the road and he took off his straw hat to fan himself, for he felt quite warm. And he said, "I done run away, Breer Possum. My grandmammy and my granddaddy kept me totting for them all the time. I doesn't like to work, Breer Possum." "Poor Lil Hannibal," said the possum, sitting up and scratching himself. "Any special place you bound for?" "I don't reckon so," said Lil Hannibal. He was getting tired, and he had come away without any breakfast. "You come along of me?" Little Hannibal, said the possum, I reckon I can take you somewhere. So the possum and Little Hannibal went along together, the possum loping along the side of the road, and Little Hannibal going very slowly in the middle of the road where his shoes were full of sand and it hurts his toes. So they went on until they came all at once to a sort of open space in the woods. And then they stopped. There was a big company there. Brer Rabbit and Brer Partridge and Brer Jaybird and Brer Robin and old Miss Guinea Hen. Here's Po, Little Hannibal, come to see you, said the possum. Little Hannibal, don't run away from his grandmammy and his granddaddy. Little Hannibal hung his head like it as if it was ashamed, but nobody noticed him. They were all as busy as ever they could be. So he just sat down on a pine stump and watched them. Each one had his own special work, and he was keeping at it right smart. Brer Robin was gathering all the holly berries from the south side of the holly tree and saying as he worked, cheer up, cheer up. Brer Partridge was building a new house down low in the bushes. As he hurried back and forth with twigs, he would stop and drum a little. He felt so happy to be busy. Brer Jaybird was taking down corn down below. You know that is what Brer Jaybird does all the time. Takes one kernel of corn and his bill to the people down below, and then comes where I left off at, back for another. It is a very long trip to take one kernel of corn, but Brer Jaybird doesn't seem to mind. Oh, Miss Guinea Hen was about the busiest of the whole company, for she was laying eggs as soon as ever she had laid one. She would get up on a low branch and screech, catch it, catch it, catch it, like to deafen everybody. But Lil Hannibal was most interested to see what Brer Rabbit was doing. Brer Rabbit had on a little apron, and he kept bringing things to his market basket. Then he cooked the things over a fire back in the bushes, and when it got to be late in the afternoon, he spread the tablecloth on a big stump, and then he pounded on his stew pan with a soup ladle. Supper's ready, said Brer Rabbit. Then Brer Robin and Brer Partridge and Brer Jaybird and Brer Possum and old Miss Guinea Hen all scrambled to their places at the table, and Lil Hannibal tried to find a place to sit at, but there wasn't any for him. Poor Lil Hannibal, said Brer Rabbit as he poured out the soup, doesn't like work. Science have no supper. Catchin', said old Miss Guinea Hen, but no one did it. They were all too busy eating. They had a great supper. There was breakfast strip and roast turkey and fried chicken and mutton. and rice and hominy and sweet potatoes and peas and beans and baked apples and cabbage and hoe cake and hot biscuit and corn muffins and butter cakes and waffles and maple syrup. When they were through eating, it was quite dark and they all went home. Even Brer Possum, and they left Lil Hannibal sitting there all by himself. Well, after a while, it began to get darker. Brer Mockingbird came out and he looked at Lil Hannibal and then he began to scream, just like old Miss Guinea Hen. Catch him, catch him, catch him! Brer Screech Owl looked down from a tree and he said very hoarsely, "Hoo, hoo, hoo!" Then all the frogs began to say, loud and shrill, "Lil Hannibal, Lil Hannibal!" So Lil Hannibal got up from his pine stump and he said, "I reckon I better go home to my grandmammy." Well, Lil Hannibal started for home slowly, but his feet hurt. He was hungry. When he came to the pine grove by the schoolhouse, the shadows came out from behind the trees and followed him. And that was much worse than seeing the schoolmistress. But Lil Hannibal got away from them all right. He crawled under the fence and ran across the cornfield. And there, in the door of the cabin, was his granddaddy with a lantern. His granddaddy had been looking for Lil Hannibal. "Why, Lil Hannibal? Where have you been all day?" asked his granddaddy. "Why, Lil Hannibal," said his grandmammy, here's her corn mush. I kept it warm on the hearth before you eat your supper, Lil Hannibal. Just take your little basket and run around the chicken house for a couple eggs." So Lil Hannibal took his little basket and it started off for those eggs, singing all the way. You see, he reckoned he was mighty glad to be at home and tidying again. The end. Thanks for watching! If you'd like to see more Read Aloud videos, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified on the next Read Aloud video. Good news! 3 new songs from the Big Read Aloud just got released. Make sure to check out those 3 songs on my main channel. See you guys on the next Read Aloud video. Bye, friends!